Guys in landscaping love tools. We love to blow, we love chainsaws, we just can't help it. We love all this fun stuff that we get to work with. So some of the tools of the trade are soil probes. This enables us to determine what we call the soil profile. So we find out what the soil is in the planting range. Mostly if we're talking about the lawn, we're looking at the top 3 or 4 inches and we examine the soil, then we may send it out for soil test. If we're digging trees, shrubs, or we want to get a better idea of the soil or the compaction, we're using a deeper probe. And that gives us, in this case, a good idea that we have consistent soil texture. So this is something that we need to look at when we're improving the lawn. So the soil quality is sandy loam with some clay. So it's pretty good to get started with. We use this particularly on construction sites. This is a compactometer and it gauges how much compaction is evident in the soil. Compaction is our enemy when we're trying to grow anything in life, whether we're growing grass, growing shrubbery, growing perennials, what have you. If the soil is too compact, then there's no place for the roots to be established. Plants do not grow in the soil per se. They grow in the air spaces in between the soil. That's very critical to know. Now, air spaces are affected by traffic, and that creates compaction, as well as extended periods of drought. If all the water leaves the soil, all the ground moisture, then these air spaces basically can collapse and reduce the porosity of the soil, which is necessary for the roots to move about freely and to take up both water and nutrients. So we have a meter here that tells us what the soil pH is. In this case, we did soil testing from a laboratory last year, and we determined that based on parent material of the rock in this area, according to Westchester soil maps, that you have an alkaline predominant soil. So we may need to change that. So for grass, we want our soil to be basically at 6.5. So this meter will tell us within a very narrow range what the pH here is. So we're going to leave that for a minute. At the same time, we're going to test the temperature of the soil with a soil thermometer, a digital soil thermometer. This is very important information if we want to approach lawn care from a scientific basis. So optimally, we want to start fertilizing and seeding when the soil temperature is at 55 or above. Also, we can track through the year the progress of insects and disease appearing in the environment according to the temperature and humidity. So we developed a weather chart. We record the average ambient temperature and humidity each day, the amount of rainfall, and the soil temperature, so we can communicate with the universities about, the scientific approach to treating insects, disease, and so forth. Here we are. We take the rubber tip off, which is very important in your moisture meter, because otherwise it's not going to work. So we have a moisture meter that's got a deep probe, so we can get down there and find out what our moisture is. And even after all that rain, down there we're about 4, which is good. And if we want to probe the surface is between 0 and 2. So it's already dried up by this nice sunlight. Now we're going to go down further and see we're about 4. This is ideal right now. We don't want the lawn to be saturated or the soil to be saturated, and we don't want it to be bone dry for too long. Although it's perfectly okay for the lawn to dry up for 3 or 4 days at a time. What that will do is that will encourage the roots to grow deeper. And this is a challenge that we have in transitioning to organic lawn care. If you like what you've seen, check out our website, greenjadelandscaping.com.